I've got two bags. One is what I would call a servicing stroke landlord certificate, basic repairs, and the other one is a full-blown repair and installation toolkit. The idea is not to make new guys feel inferior or to say, hey, look at all of my fantastic equipment, I bet you wish you had this stuff. It's not to do that. I don't like that attitude. I like tools to work, and that's what I'm going to show you. These tools have to earn a living to be in these tool bags. If they're taking up space and they're not working, they've got to go. Stanley Fat Mac. This is what we've got in the front. We've got, again, space is at a premium, so I've got they call it a Versa funnel. Let's say, for instance, you've got a pump and you've got water coming out of it. You can shield it from the PCB, which might be underneath it, radiator valves, things like that, because you can roll it up and get rid of it. That goes in the front pocket there, and my flue brush goes inside of it. In the front pocket, spanner. So this goes into my cordless drill driver. This is for the valence. This is a Weira Joker, I think they call it. Ventilation valves on the valent and various others. Slimline ones here, and these are the regular. Clearly this won't do a 15mm. They're in the front pocket. A Velcro thing there so that they can't fall out. In the next pocket is my trusty pressure gauge. Vital. You must have one. I prefer this, it's quick, it's simple. Round the back, smoke cartridges, so when you're doing your smoke tests and stuff. 2 zips. You're presented straight away with my CP12 cert book. Inside the top pocket, MagnaClean for the old or the new style, just in case the customer doesn't have one. The new style one, and no, I don't do Fernox ones. You have to cap off the appliance. Inside of here, this is my old Anton bag. It lifts out of here, which is helpful. Inside of here, spare pen, mirror. Make sure your makeup's on correctly. Got a Makita mini drive, hex, posi, and it's got a driver if you so need be, and you can use it straight out of there. It's the smallest thing that I've ever found, so this is what I use. It's small, it's compact. I've put a magnet in the top so that it stays, and printed a 3D print there so that it clips in there and stays in there. Angled fitting for vessels. This is quite handy on back season, certain boilers where you can't gain access. You have a Schroeder valve in there so you can go straight off it. So you can check your pressure straight from there if need be. Sharpie pen, just in case I haven't got a spare. I've got a Weira set here. Close the top. Weira set, this has a screwdriver with an identity of power, 1/4" drive onto the screwdriver socket set there if I have 1/4" drive bits. And you've got posi, Phillips, 3/8" drive at the end, and your screwdriver bit attachment there. Torques and flats and a removable screwdriver head, so this will fit compact set, all of these, and these are obviously rated for electrical work, so you won't get an electrical shock. Fat Max has got a plastic base to it. It gets damp, it's okay, it won't rot through and that. I found one of these. This is the lid of a large water tank, and inside of here, this is the base again, doubled up. And so I've got my Anton analyzer probe, which has got the filter and bits and pieces all strapped up. So inside of here, for the seals on valence, I've got a T-bar, a lot quicker. You can just spin them off and tighten them up nicely. Safety point, gas meters. Flexible drive, again for different applications. And this all fits inside of here, so this is a flexible drive. So you can do that, and you can put your fittings in there. This is my spare light, super bright, very, very useful. Magnetic base, and all of that sits into this. And this is also a drip tray. So if I have to drain out a boiler, guess what? All of the stuff goes into there. So good use of space again. So we've got an extension here, pressure point. You can screw that on, nice and easy. Again, it's got a Schrader valve at this end. Various silicon hoses, specific to gas meters, and this is my truss adapter that goes onto valent and the like, where you can screw it straight on, introduce inhibitors, introduce chemicals, and this I made up, so this is just a fitting, and you can repressurize systems that are in low pressure, so if there is not enough pressure in the system. I'll open this up, nothing around the sides. Got a brush in there for brushing out heat exchangers. We've got a Fluke Meter 101, which is one of the cheaper ones. It's auto levels, so you don't have to set it onto things. Continuity, you can do voltage, AC, DC, and ohms resistance. I've got a pair of pincer type one hand. I've also got these, which are clip-on things, so if you have a fitting that you need to clamp to a wire or something, you can clamp it on there and you don't have to hold it and you don't have to prod around. You can just clamp it onto there. The crocodile clips. Like I say, you need to be quite thorough about this and keep it all compact. Very small drill driver. I suffer with tennis elbow, and a lot of doing this all of the time. I can only tell you that after 30 odd years of doing this, it's going to hurt. Got an Anton manometer, so clearly electronic version. Pressures on heat exchangers, Worcester Bosch, water resistant, so even if you're outside. Got my Anton analyzer, which this is an old one, it's probably due for renewal very shortly. Got an Anton sniffer. This is for checking and finding gas leaks. Works perfectly. Still do the drop tests. This is purely for finding it, and then you resolve it and do your final tests on that. Stamp for the company, so I can just stamp all of my certificates without having to fill out my name, my address, my printer for the Anton. Stapler for the readouts on here, staple to the certificate. Martindale, shove it in, it tells you whether the polarity is correct, whether or not it's missing live, reversed. When you're doing fault diagnosis, you can't go wrong with one of these. Just a quick test, save you a lot of time. Charger, just in case this needs a recharge. Fly lead here, it's got various connections. If I go to a fan and I'm not sure that it works, just plug that straight in. If I'm not sure about a pump, plug this straight in, plug the other end straight into the pump. I can spin the pump. This is all of the tools that I use for breakdowns, servicing generally, and yeah, it works for me. So this stuff goes straight into there. This is the beauty of this for me. I can take my drip tray, put that straight into there. That works perfectly. I can then take my Anton analyzer and all of the bits that we need these days. Pop that out, fits perfectly down the side. Yeah, open that up. I've got access to the bits that I need in a hurry. Close that down. Inserts on the top. That's my tool bag. My installation bag. This has got to weigh 10 odd kilos. It's battered, it's old. Stanley Fat Max. This has got everything that I would use for an installation and what I would call a serious repair, where I need multiple different types of tools. On the outside, got a knife. On this side over here, heat mat, so surfaces that you don't want to get burned. Got some Scotch-Brite in here for cleaning pipes. Around here, Irwin vice grips. These are a lot better than people give them credit for. This button on here works perfectly. I've never had it fail. It locks tight, and they're old. I don't know what I say about these. They're fiddly. They're fiddly, these ones. If you don't get them in the right place, you're either too tight here and it's barely putting any pressure on, or you go that way and you're wide open here. Getting them exactly in the right place they're great for chrome. That's all I'm going to say about those. On the side here, olive splitters. So these are for cutting off olives. As I'm sure you know, these are Monument. Cable ties on these. Basically, it all folds out. Hammer in the base. I'm not a Stanley fanboy, I just find it good value. Electrodes on boilers and stuff. Big flat screwdriver, drive-through type, so you can hammer through without it splitting. Medium to long. Inside the van I've got a much longer set. Plastic bases, so they won't go through. Two different types of Baker spanners in the first one there, yeah. Next one along, got another set just to double up on that, and third I've got the large just in case. These are one thing, a lot better, however how much wear and tear we don't know. I've only had these maybe a few weeks and I do like these, however again they're a little bit fiddly to get them in the right place. They're very different to something like this, and yes, they're great for damaging surfaces. These will destroy them, these won't. So if you need something like that you're constantly using chrome, then get a pair of these. 30 quid I think they were. No, they're not cheap. And yes, I did buy all of this stuff myself. None of this is endorsed. Angled pincers. Now, these are really, really good. Sometimes on valance and Worcester Bosches, you've got clips in strange places. You can pull on these. Super. Again, Baco grips. Very small set of Bacos. These are also spring-back ones, so bane of my existence, but I can't find a way to throw them out. We've got a torpedo, whatever you want to call it, bashing out plaster and all sorts. These are great. Magnet. Get something lost, need to pick something up, or even on pipe work when you want to check to see if something is furred up, you can place this against the pipe, and if it's magnetic, hey, you know that copper should not attract to it, so you know that there's crud inside. Flat screwdriver, hammer through again. Electrical screwdriver. Cool, again this is also continuity, so it has a battery in there, and when you do continuity like that, lights up. Thermostat's where you'll check continuity. We're a screwdriver. It's had a lot of use. Flat, again Stanley. Isolation here. This is a German one. Scratchy tool for scratching pipes. Pipe strip I think they call it. Rad tail spanner. Sometimes you get the odd funny shaped one, but this happens to fit most of the 3/4 size ones. Couple of box spanners for taking out tap. Rothenberg pipe bender. This has got basically my fibre washers and things. So you've got fibre washers, both tap type, and you've also got the larger, thicker valent type ones and other thicker ones there. Assortment of fibre washers that are slightly different. A couple of 22 mils, a couple of 15 mils. Replace them after you've used them, so you're ready for the next job. Infusers. So when you go to a job and you need that size for your expansion vessel, they're also in there. Put in a piece of foam so they don't all get juggled up. Inside of here, hump, got 3/4, got inch, all sorts of different sizes there. And some of these are for power flushing when I'm power flushing. And in here, all engineers should carry lots of, what do you think's in here? Drain cock washers. It will save you loads of time when you drain down a system and then you start cranking down on it. So in here, a bit of scratch, sandpaper, a few raw plugs, a couple of nuts and bolts, special tool for pulling out little O-rings and things, and we've got an Allen key, one of those, pencil, large driver, super large driver, and we've got some Sharpies and a very long extension for taking out posies. So all of these little bits and pieces in there. WD-40, love it or loathe it, you're going to use it. Large pair of Rothenberg, plastic cutters. So, and they've also got the little thing there, and that stays in there. Does everything. It'll even cut lead pipe, to be fair. So Black Swan, that's the only one I use because it's got the applicator in the end. Funnel. All sorts of different uses, from cleaning out heat exchangers on a pipe through to filling up inhibitor into the top of radiator valves. PTFE, either keep it on your person, have it in a box. Rolls of insulation tape, silicone grease lubricant. Screwdrivers, posi, got a couple of electrical bits, so you've got side cutters and long nose pliers. Then here, clearly you've got your electrical tester, Q-Tech one. Keep one of these if you had one. However, these are okay for certain applications, but when you need to rotate something, you'll only get quarter of a rotation. Bit limited sometimes. Torx bits, screwdriver bits, flats, 10 mil. Sometimes you need these for toilets. I don't mind working on anything as long as it's paying money. Marker pen, if you don't have one on your person, I always keep one on my person, so I'm carrying one right now. Pencil, this is just on my person. Pencil, pen on my person again. Radiator valves, got various. This one here is a guitar one for doing guitars, but it also does the pump valve head, so it's a square fitting, and you can turn it on, turn it off, and there you go. You don't need to be messing around with a spanner. And last but not least, you've got to have a valent tape measure, haven't you? Christ, even if you fit thousands of them, that's what you get for. Anyway, get set here, small bit. This has got Torx all the way up to 13mm, all the way down to 4mm. Super bit of kit, well worth it. Give it a drop of oil every now and again, but that's plenty years old. Great piece of kit. Soldering set, jointing compound, and water, so you can use this. It's potable water and White Hawk. Leaded solder, I've got the lead-free stuff in the van, but I don't keep it in here all of the time. Pipe slice, various different types. So you've got, depending on the size and the thickness of the material you're working on, how close you are, got various different 22mm, 28mm, yep. Monument Copex, 15mm, yep. Deburring tool, so you've got for going into them and going on the external, so that's for the external side of the pipe, anything up to 1.25 inch, 1.5 inch, sorry, and that's for the other side. And this, I use it for plastic, copper, you name it. Right down the bottom, my flux is inside the van. You need a brush. You need a brush to put your flux on. That, my friends, is all my toolkit, and it goes away something like this. Yeah. So that's my installation toolkit for boilers and serious work, serious kind of installs and repairs. So that all goes in there, and anyway, if I can lift it, you can lift it, sure, but that's my toolkit. And before any of you ask, no, it's never that tidy. Anyway, so it doesn't come up, but that's it. That's the whole of my installation kit for boilers, and it does have a couple of straps here that you can put a heavy duty strap over, but typically I lift it from here, and I've forgotten that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that.